Unlocking the power of phrasal verbs. Navigating formal and informal settings. Hello language learners. Welcome back to our English learning series. Today, we'll delve into the fascinating world of phrasal verbs, specifically exploring how to adapt these verbs to both formal and informal contexts. Mastering this can greatly enhance your fluency and versatility in English. So, let's unlock the power of phrasal verbs. Before we jump into strategies, let's do a quick recap. Phrasal verbs are unique to English, consisting of a verb and one or more particles, either prepositions or adverbial particles. They often carry entirely different meanings than their components suggest, which can sometimes make them tricky to learn. For example, the phrasal verb, to look up, does not just mean to look upwards. It can also mean to search for information, as in, I'll look up the train schedules. Phrasal verbs are ubiquitous in both informal, like casual conversation or text messages, and formal settings, like business emails, academic essays, or presentations. When it comes to phrasal verbs, the key difference between formal and informal English isn't about using them or not, but rather choosing the right phrasal verbs for the right context. For instance, in informal English, we might say, I'll look up the address. But in a formal setting, it might be more appropriate to say, I will research the address. Both sentences convey the same meaning, but the choice of phrasal verb gives a different tone. Now, let's explore some strategies that can help you adapt phrasal verbs to different settings. 1. Replace phrasal verbs with single-word verbs. This is a straightforward strategy. As in our previous example, you can replace the phrasal verb, look up, with the verb, research, in a formal setting. 2. Use formal synonyms. Often, there are formal equivalents to phrasal verbs. For example, instead of set up, informal, you might say establish, formal. It's useful to familiarize yourself with these equivalents. 3. Avoid slang or colloquial phrasal verbs in formal settings. Phrasal verbs like hang out or catch up are typically reserved for informal situations. Using them in a formal context could come off as inappropriate or unprofessional. 4. Consider the formality of the particle. Some particles are more formal than others. For instance, up tends to be informal, as in look up, while ascertain is more formal, as in ascertain the truth. Practice these strategies regularly, and you'll find yourself becoming more comfortable and adaptable with phrasal verbs in different settings. That wraps up our exploration of phrasal verbs and how to adapt them to both formal and informal settings. With practice and time, you'll unlock the potential of these unique expressions, making your English more flexible and expressive. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, every step you take is a step closer to mastery. Happy learning, and see you in the next video.